You clicked on this video because you want to become successful, and that is something that you and I have in common. As a matter of fact, I have spent the last 6 to 7 years of my life obsessively watching videos just like this one, reading autobiographies and self-help books, watching podcasts and interviews, trying to dissect the common denominators between all of these successful people who inspire me to chase success in my own life. And what I found, my primary finding from all of this research has been that every successful person invariably has this one trait within them, this one psychological trait, and that is the burning desire. I've been talking a lot about the burning desire in my recent videos, but I haven't really gone as in depth as I'd like to because those videos weren't about the burning desire. But this is something that deserves its own video. Bearing that in mind, in this video, I want to dissect the burning desire so that you can cultivate that within yourself and drastically increase your chances of being successful. Because burning desire is a prerequisite. Without the burning desire, you're not going to become successful. As harsh as it is to say, and as harsh as it probably is to hear, if you don't want it, you are not going to be successful. But it's something that you can instill within yourself. You don't have to be born with it. You can develop it over time. But in order to do that, you must first understand what it is. So before I tell you what makes the burning desire, let me share what the components of the burning desire are. There are two components of the burning desire. Really, there are two components of desire overall. There is the push and there is the pull. If you want to be successful, especially if you want to be successful in a short amount of time, you are very likely going to need both. Now, what are the push and the pull? Let me give you some examples. So, with the push is you wanting to escape your current circumstances. That's you living in an impoverished environment, maybe in a third world country, and wanting desperately to escape that environment and wanting to get your family out of that environment. That is the push. That's you wanting to get away from where you currently are in life. That's dissatisfaction. That is lack-based. You don't want what you currently have. That is the push. That's your laptop constantly crashing when you're trying to edit videos. That's a push. You don't want that laptop anymore. The pull is the new laptop that you want. That's that brand new MacBook that you're constantly seeing advertisements for. That's the first world country, that's America or the UK or the Netherlands, that for you represents opportunity and freedom and the possibility of a better life for you and your loved ones. That's the pull. The pull is abundance-based. The pull comes from a place of you envisioning yourself having something that you don't currently have. Those are the two components of desire. And actually, just to double down on those two components, when it comes to the push, something that I've noticed through all of the autobiographies that I've read, that's something that I've been doing quite a bit over the past 6 or 7 months, is reading autobiographies every single day. Something that I've noticed between all of these A-list celebrities, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jeanette McCurdy, Will Smith, Alicia Keys, everybody that I've studied up to this point, Terry Crews, who else? I don't even know. I've read a lot of autobiographies. Charlemagne the God, 50 Cent. Between all of these people, something that I've noticed is that they all come from broken households in some way, shape, or form. They grew up in a very toxic environment, not just in terms of their financial status, but in terms of their family dynamics. They all had at least one parent who is on some bullshit. All of them. No, I'm not saying that you have to come from a toxic family in order to be successful. What I am saying is that you have to have some sort of deeply rooted dissatisfaction with your current situation. And it's much easier to do that when the people that you generally are supposed to be able to rely on for love and acceptance do not provide that to you. When that occurs, it's extremely easy for you to develop that push, that desire to escape your current situation. Or in my case, for example, I had a very stable and loving home environment growing up. But when it came to my dating life, I struggled with getting rejected constantly, over and over and over again. Girls telling me that they didn't want a relationship, but silently saying they didn't want a relationship with me. That created the push. I didn't have the push until that started to happen to me. And if you've been following my channel for long enough, you probably know the full extent of that story, so I'm not going to go too deep into that. But eventually, one of those girls broke me fully, completely, and unlocked that push. I told myself, I don't want this to ever happen again. Ever. And even after I became successful, it did. But I didn't know that that was going to happen. So that motivated me. That gave me the push to pursue better things in life and to pursue a better version of myself. That better version of myself and that better life that went along with that better version of myself was the pull. That was what pulled me away from the situation that I was in, of getting my heart broken, getting rejected over and over again. I had a push and a pull. That is how I got to where I am right now. So with the push, here's the thing. The push generally develops on its own. That's not something that you create. That is an extenuating circumstance. It's something that's beyond your control. You can't change it. Maybe you're dealing with health issues. Maybe, just like me, you got your heart broken. Or maybe, just like the people that I've read about, you come from a toxic home environment. Either way, the push is going to develop on your path. Generally, once you establish your pull. Now, how do you go about establishing your pull? Well, it's simple. You allow yourself to want the things that you want. When you're honest with yourself and you give yourself permission to want what you actually want instead of wanting to want something, so wanting something because other people want it for you, when you allow yourself to want what you want in your core, that is the pull. That's the pull. Once you establish your pull, almost invariably, the universe will provide the push for you in due time. Personally, I believe this is because the universe, or maybe just your subconscious mind, or God, whatever you believe in, this force beyond our comprehension is testing us, but not only testing us, preparing us for the journey ahead. Because that pull can be very, very debilitating if you don't have the character for it. If you don't have the character to withstand everything that entails. The push is what gives you the character to see the pull into fruition. Now, here's the thing about the push and the pull. In order for the push and the pull to be strong enough to move you into action, you have to have a sense of emotion along with them. So if your push and or pull are not emotionally charged, they will not be strong enough to create movement in your life, which is ultimately what you need to get to where you want to go. Because think about it. If you're in LA and you want to get to New York, you have to move. If you view the distance between your current reality and your desired reality in the same exact way, it's literally just space and time, then the same is true. Movement is what's required. You have to get moving. Most people do not get moving, or if they do get moving, they don't move very far or for very long because their desires are not emotionally charged. The emotion is what turns a desire into a burning desire. Burning desire is emotionally charged. And that's something that you can cultivate within yourself. Now, again, the push, that's something that the universe will take care of for you. Whenever you start pursuing your goals, I can promise you right now, you are going to come across some bullshit. I promise you, it's going to suck. You're going to hate it. You're going to wish that you had never started pursuing your goals, but it'll be too late for you to turn back because you'll have seen too much. You'll know that on the other side of that bullshit, there is another version of you waiting to emerge from the shadows. And once you've overcome that bullshit once, you can never go back. That's the position I'm in. I tried to quit YouTube many times and I literally couldn't because now that I've seen my potential, I can never ignore it again. I have to fulfill it. It's literally an obligation for me. I can't not fulfill that potential. So now at this point in my life, the pull is stronger than the push. Though there are other circumstances in my life, which I'm not going to speak on, that do provide a push to go along with the pull. Because again, when you have the pull, the push will present itself in due time. But the most important thing is that these desires, be it the push or the pull or both, are emotionally charged. They're emotionally based. Because once you experience that emotional desire, you have no choice but to take action. You have no choice but to quit that job and pursue your dreams. You have no choice but to drop out of school and pursue your dreams. Not saying you literally have to do those things. Those are just examples from my own life. But you have no choice but to take massive action and burn your bridges. When you have the burning desire, it burns everything behind you. You can't go back. You can only go forward. And when you have that push and that pull, you will go forward naturally. That creates movement. So if you want to be successful, focus on cultivating a pull. Give yourself permission to want what you want and give yourself permission to preview your dream life. Go to the car dealership and sit in your dream car. Go to that condominium or that apartment that you want to live in and ask for a tour as if you are actually going to get it, because you are. You might not get it that day, but you can get it within the next decade or two. It's not going anywhere. And if it is going somewhere, then maybe you should reassess your dreams because you don't want to live somewhere that is not going to be there. But the point that I'm making is that when you allow yourself to take a preview of your dream life and you allow yourself to pursue the desires which are emotionally charged, the push is going to present itself, and that's going to accelerate your path, and it's going to burn the bridges behind you, and success from that point on literally becomes inevitable.